What's up? It's your girl Joy back with another video, and so today I will be telling you how to schedule your classes for college. So it's just some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. So if you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Joy. I make college beauty and lifestyle videos here on YouTube and occasionally commentary. So if that's something that you're interested in, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And pause, all of you guys, put on the post notification. That way you can be notified every time I upload and every time I live stream. So let's get into the video. So if you know me, you know that I am a huge planner. I love to plan my whole life. Unfortunately, my plan doesn't always align with God's plan for my life, so a lot of times I plan for absolutely no reason. But I think that in college it is very important to have an outline, to have a plan of when you're going to take your classes, where and at one point in your college career you're going to take those classes, because if you don't, you risk the potential to have to stack up all your classes at the last minute or have to stay longer and have a delayed graduation, and nobody likes either of those things. So here I'm trying to be your big sister and help you out. Number one tip is actually pretty common. It's mix your GE classes with your major requirements whenever you're creating a schedule for a semester. A lot of counselors and advisors tell you this because if you schedule only GEs, or especially only major classes, your schedule kind of gets boring and monotone. So if you, let's say for me, I'm a journalism major, if I'm constantly taking journalism classes only, that's pretty boring, you know, because the only thing I'm doing is reading, writing, stuff like that. And a lot of the advisors don't want you to get into that mindset of having your class schedule be boring and uneventful. So if you mix it up with the GEs and your major requirements, that helps you a lot. Also too, you don't want to just satisfy your GE requirements, like do all those classes at once and get it done and then work on your major. You want to be working on your major and GE requirements, filling those out like together as time goes by. That way you don't have as many GEs or you don't have as many major requirements in the end. So you want to satisfy GE and major requirements at the same time. My next tip is take 12 to 15 units a semester. 15 units is pretty standard for a lot of people. At Cal State Long Beach, they tell you do more in 4 by taking 15 units each semester. 15 units, 12 units, that is considered like full-time student status at most colleges, and that's a decent amount of units to take. I wouldn't go beyond 16. I've taken 16 units 2 semesters in a row, and it was doable, but it was pretty difficult, I would have to say, especially if you're someone that wants to be involved with school or has to work or volunteers and does other stuff besides school. Then you want to like spread out your units. You don't want to cram them. If you take more than 16 units, be aware that it is going to be school. That is a very heavy schedule. I don't recommend it if you want to enjoy your college experience. But there's certain circumstances where you do have to take units like that if you're trying to graduate early because you can't afford college or because you just want to get out. But if that's the case, spread those extra units during your breaks. That way you won't be overwhelmed. 16 units sounds scary, but I do want to stress that it is doable for a lot of people. Just be aware, if you want to enjoy college more, take less units. Don't take below 12 units, because then you will be off track to graduating on time or early, whatever college you go to. Essentially, units is, what this means is, let's say a standard regular class at a college is usually 3 units. If it's above 3 units, like a foreign language can be 4 units, 5 units, that means that the class has more rigor and work to it. So a 3-unit class is just your basic average class. It's not anything necessarily difficult per se. So let's say a lot of your science classes are 4 units, 3 units for the class, and 1 unit for the lab, for example. So 15 units basically means you're taking 5 3-unit classes usually, or if you're taking 12 units, it's 4 3-unit classes. This upcoming semester I will be taking 4 3-unit classes, so a total of 12 units. So Be careful when choosing 8 a.m. classes or classes earlier than 8 a.m. So I kind of touched upon this in my 10 things I learned as a freshman at Cal State Long Beach video. So I have taken 8 a.m.s both semesters of my freshman year of college, and the second semester I took 8 a.m.s 4 days in a row, and that was like really hard on me. I did that so I could get out of school before 2 o'clock each day because I commute and I didn't want to hit traffic going back. But I would say be careful when you choose 8 a.m.s. If you're someone who can't get up early in the morning, just don't do it, because you will be late every day to school. Because if you commute, you do have to understand, like, 8 a.m. is not that bad, but wherever you're coming from, you have to get up early enough to beat the traffic to get to class. So that's what makes it difficult to get up for 8 a.m.s. Like I said, 8 a.m.s are very practical and helpful if you do try and beat traffic coming back home. That way you can get all your classes early on in the day, but just be careful that the realistic practicalness of waking up is super difficult. I don't really recommend taking 8 a.m.s 4 days in a row, but if you're going to go to class like 2 days a week, that's fine. You can do 8 a.m.s on those days. It's not going to be that difficult. But if you keep doing it every day in a row, then that's when it gets pretty difficult. Tip number 4 is take online and hybrid classes when you get the chance to. So I was going to take an online class this summer, but I ended up not needing it. So I haven't taken an online class or a hybrid class. However, I will in the future. But some classes I don't recommend you taking online or in a hybrid is like a math class, a science class, or like a language class. Anything that's really difficult that you would need an instructor or professor to help you out with, don't take it online. But if it's more of like a writing-based class, then that's something that you could definitely do online for sure. The reason why is because a lot of people do say that online classes tend to be easier than actually going in person, because it's more at the pace of your life to your schedule. Instead of having to show up at class this time and this time, it's all like online as long as you meet the deadlines. So if you're someone that works a lot or has other responsibilities like kids, whatnot, and you can't always be at a specific location like Cal State Long Beach, then definitely think about online classes, because that will help you immeasurably, because you could do the work literally anywhere you're at. You could be in a different country and still do it. Also too, this cuts down on your commute time if you do take online classes. It cuts down the amount of time that you spend on campus if you take online classes. Another thing that's really good too is hybrid classes oftentimes tend to be like more of a favorite between students, because half the time you spend doing your stuff online, half the time you spend in class, and hence why it's called hybrid. So these are nice if you don't want to come to class as much, but you still want to have that professor, environment. So hybrid classes are really good for that. And the reason why I say take these like when you can is because online classes and hybrid classes tend to fill up pretty fast, and they're kind of rare. Like, a lot of classes don't offer online or hybrid versions, so when you see a chance to take one, then definitely take it. So tip number 5, keep your classes in Monday through Thursday. Now, this is a personal preference. You definitely don't have to do this, but I love having Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, and I have done this for the past 2 semesters, and then this semester I will not have school on Fridays. It's nice because when you go on vacation or when breaks are coming up, a lot of professors do like to cancel classes like the Thursday or Wednesday before going out for your holiday, your weekend. And so it's nice that you could basically have like a 4 or 5 day weekend if you don't have class on that Friday and stuff. I usually like to dedicate Monday through Thursday through activities related and homework related to school. I don't really do homework or study on the weekends unless I am absolutely on crunch time for that. I like to keep Friday through Sunday like my fun activities, stuff that I'm going to do with friends and whatnot. YouTube, I don't like to focus. I like to separate them that way. Be aware when you schedule night classes, a lot of club meetings on campus at Cal State Long Beach in particular, and I'm assuming at other campuses too, and events that the school hosts do happen in the evening, so usually around after 5 p.m. And so if you do schedule a class during that time, you will miss out on those events. So I like to schedule things more earlier in the morning, that way you don't miss out on those things. Tip number 6 is give yourself at least 15 to 20 minutes in between each class. So when I was scheduling my classes my freshman year, the advisors told me to give myself like a 2-hour break some point during the day between my classes. And they said that so you don't feel like burned out from taking class after class. Now this is totally up to you. It definitely depends on the person. For me, I am a person that likes to chop, 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 get everything done and be over with it and then have my break. I don't like having a break in the middle. And I found myself when I had these 2-hour breaks that I did nothing productive. I literally just watched YouTube videos. So you do have to keep an account of that. If you do need a break, definitely take the break. But if you're someone like me, do 15 to 20 minutes in between your classes to give yourself enough time to walk from your first class to your second class. Number 7 is prepare your schedule outline before you meet with your advisors, before you go on the portal to sign up for your classes. The reason for this is I feel like when I was a freshman, I would get like super stressed out. I was like, oh my gosh, this class is taken or this and that, like I don't know where it's at, I can't find it. If you outline this, you can also think of the questions that you have to ask your advisor about your schedule, about a class, about any requirements, and you won't have to worry about that on your own when it comes to signing up for the classes. Also too, if you don't have priority registration for your classes, then you want to sign up as soon as possible on that date that you are assigned. That way you can get the classes and you won't have to worry about your schedule. I definitely do advise you to meet with your advisor once every semester or once every quarter before you're about to sign up for your next classes, because you can self-advise all you want, but you still might be messing up on an area that you have no idea about, and then that's not going to come up until later on when you're about to graduate. So that is all I have for you guys in this video. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my road trip vlogs. I know I'm bombarding you guys with that, but I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get them out before the school year starts, and yeah, and I have more advice videos to come. If you have a question about school, college, or Cal State Long Beach, definitely leave it in the comment section and I'll answer it to the best of my ability, or I will try finding someone that can answer it. So thank you. I love you guys. Bye!